Good evening, folks, and welcome to episode 28 of the Monday Weekend Wrap-Up. It's a fine Monday evening here in the Northern Hemisphere, joined by some of the most renowned guests on the face of the earth to talk some football tonight. It is truly a pleasure. One of these gentlemen is going to be he's going to have Sir at the beginning of his name when he's older. One is going to get a golden maple leaf. I think that's the highest order you can get in Canada. And the other one is going to get a platinum something. What do they have? Purple Heart. A platinum Purple Heart. Joining us today, first up, all the way from Ohio. I think this is Ohio. Yes, it's Ohio. We have Hoff. Welcome in, Hoff. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Am I getting the Purple Heart? Because I don't know if I want that.
I don't know. I don't know. What do they? What do they have? Sir equivalent in England or not in England? In America?
They have like the Medal of Freedom. I think it's like the highest civilian honor.
That's what you get. You get the Medal of Freedom.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay, cool. And then also joining us, as always, we have Mr. Milothe1st. Welcome in, Milo. How you doing, man?
Good evening, all. Good to see you.
I'll just in from the racetrack. I see.
Yep, all the way from Snetterton in England.
Snetterton.
Yeah.
What part of England is Snetterton?
I never went there, so I couldn't tell you. I'll find out for you, but carry on.
Okay. And joining us, happy to have our friends of the channel back. We have none other than the one and only HighlyUnconvinced joining us this week. Highly, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing good. Happy to have you back on. Let me just check my levels here. There we go. Yeah, welcome in, guys. Hope you guys are having a good week. Lots of football to talk about and a lot of other events around Europe we'll also talk about today. Let's take a look at our topics. We have bounce back ability, referring to a certain Premier League club who bounced back from a run of poor results. We have Sommer ain't over. We're going to be taking a look at some results around Europe. Some big teams playing this weekend, as always. One certain Jan Sommer with a fantastic performance in the Bundesliga. Here we go, guys. The transfer market is closing this week. So we will be taking a look at some of the transfers that have been completed this week, and also rumors that are pending, things that might be happening in the next couple days. We'll take a look at the Champions League draw and Europa League draw. The Group C of death, it looks like, for the Champions League will be very, very interesting to see how things pan out there. We'll just talk a little bit about that. And as always, with a new segment, we'll be doing a little fantasy review. We'll be looking at who performed the best in fantasy. Hoff and Milo in a heated franchise league as well. They can talk to us about their best players and things like that. We'll be talking a little bit of referee decisions this week as well. A couple interesting refereeing decisions that maybe the audience doesn't know the proper ruling, and neither did I before, and we'll just take a look at that and just discuss it a little bit. Always can get a little controversial there, but that's all good fun. We have a special how many teams you can name this week, hosted by Milo this week, which would be nice. And as always, we'll talk a little weekly check-in, where we will be talking about our weeks, personal life a little bit, let you in behind the fourth wall or whatever. And also in extra time, guys, this week we're going to be talking predictions: Everton, Liverpool, and Manchester United Arsenal predictions this week. That's what we'll be talking at the end of the show. Get your predictions ready. Winner gets a golden star. Just quickly before we get started, before we get into our first topic, I want to talk about our predictions from last week. We did Nottingham Forest and Spurs last week. Many picked Tottenham to win the game, but only Ozzy predicted the correct score of 2-0. Very well done, Ozzy. And Ozzy is a lifetime Tottenham fan, as we know. You know, he's
Give me a break. Give me a break, man.
A whole 3 months or so, you know. of Tottenham
It's like my two certifiable nightmares have come together and formed Aussie.
Long suffering.
New fans and Tottenham fans folded into one Australian. It's like a nightmare for me.
But also, Lindmer picked 3-0. Close with Lindmer. Hoff had 5-2. I had 4-2. Sam had 3-1. Greg had 4-0 Nottingham. Interesting. And Milo had 2-1 Nottingham as well. But yeah, nice predictions. We'll get some predictions for those games at the end of the show, and we'll review them next week. But guys, without any further ado, let's get into our first topic of the week, the Premier League. Guys, let's just talk some Premier League. Lots of games this, lots of exciting games. Let's start off with Liverpool versus Bournemouth. I mean, this is the highlight game of the week, I'd say. Liverpool just absolutely smashing Bournemouth 9-0. Milo, what are your general thoughts about that 9-0 victory?
What a farmers league, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
What a farmers league we're in. Yeah, I mean, Liverpool needed an answer, and they absolutely got it. And Bournemouth just didn't show up. Really bad performance. And I think once it was 3-0, I think I even said in the chat we were in, like, this could be 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
And it was 9. So
Definitely.
It's I don't want to take anything away from Liverpool, but let's face it, that's more on Bournemouth being atrocious. Like 9 goals, if you ship 9 goals, that's more on you being atrocious than your opponent being unbelievable. Like Liverpool's a good team, but they're not gonna win a lot of games 9-0. So they'll be happy because they needed a result. They needed 3 points, kind of like you did last week, and they went out and got them in style.
Yeah, Highly, what are you thinking? Why did Liverpool 9-0? Why 9-0? Should they have stopped earlier? Should they have taken it easy?
It's funny that you would ask me specifically that, because I had a friend who asked me, like, is there not any like sportsmanship in football? Like, do they not just stop? Is there not a mercy rule or something? Yeah, they needed to make a statement. I think Milo's absolutely right, because they started off the season not as dominant. Like, you clearly saw that Mane was kind of like the glue that held them together. Some would argue Virgil van Dijk, but we can get into that later. But yeah, definitely, like, they really needed to remind everyone that they're still, a top of the league kind of team. So not much more you could say about that. 9 goals, I mean, that's embarrassing for Bournemouth.
Absolutely. Hoff, any thoughts on that one?
I don't think that's the last time that Bournemouth will give up at least like 6 or 7 goals this season. They just look like they don't belong so far. And I kind of piggybacking on what Milo said, I don't want to read too much into it for Liverpool, because Bournemouth was so bad. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, Liverpool's not gonna lose the rest of the season because they smashed Bournemouth. I think it flattered them a little bit. I mean, they were dominant, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it was a 9-0. Yeah, Bournemouth looked just so bad.
Yeah, it was kind of a perfect storm, right? Liverpool 3 winless games, and then you got Bournemouth who are just kind of barely surviving. Not barely surviving, but they're not in the best form, not the best squad, not the best moves. Slightly inexperienced manager. He was relegated, I believe, with Fulham, or sacked by Fulham. Yeah, just a perfect storm, and it's good to see Harvey Elliott scoring. I think that was his first goal, and that the stat about him was he's the first player to score for Liverpool that was born after Milner made his debut in the Premier League, which is pretty wild. Tells you about Milner, and we'll talk a little bit of transfers later as well. But definitely the highlight result of the weekend.
As far as bounce back goes, Cart, like, how did Bournemouth bounce back from that? Do you put that result on Scott Parker for for not at 3-0 saying, okay, 10 men behind the ball and 1 forward just up the pitch and we'll just punt it and we'll just put a wall in front of the net. Because instead they tried to play and they just hung their goalie out to dry. It's hard to come back from that, you know?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a really tough situation. I mean, I'm not sure what Bournemouth is going to be.
They were in my relegation 3. So
yeah, I think they were,
I believe.
I hope
But
I
yeah.
have them in mind.
Yeah.
Is
Let's
that
move
their
on.
worst loss in history? Just for the record, does anyone know?
I wouldn't be surprised. I
Probably.
wouldn't be surprised. Probably. Do you guys ever remember losing 9-0 when you were playing, even like rec or whatever? I remember one time we played in a tournament. It was like a Saturday Sunday tournament where you play like 2 like kind of shortened games each day, and on Saturday we got beat like 7-1 or something, and then the next day we had 2 more games. Well, we would have had 2 more games, but we only no. The second game would have been like the tournament, right? If you get in the knockout stage. But in the morning, he made us get up before the games, and we had to train at like 5:30 in the morning, you know, in the fog and all that, and like it was like a kind of like a Ten Hag type treatment. Where we had to run a bunch, and then we had to go play our games. You know, it was just. I don't know,
I've been on the receiving end of a shellac in an ice hockey when we were in the summer leagues. There's not as many teams, so they don't have as many divisions, right? So what they do is you end up in a mixture, and you end up with some like Div 2, 3 teams against Div 8, 9, 10.
Ooh.
And
Right.
we were in the playoffs. We made the playoffs, but the first playoff round was against a team so high up, and they were up like 14-0 or something, you know. And at the end, the guy that owns the arena came down and said that was bullshit. Like, I'm going to give you guys free nachos and beers.
Ooh,
It's-
nachos.
Okay.
It was bad.
So did
sport.
you really lose then?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's beer league hockey, so you know it was.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's move on to let's talk about Spurs Nottingham. Spurs won 2-0 against Nottingham. I thought this was going to be it was a pretty cagey affair. Conte playing his 5-4-1, classic Conte. Just bit of I don't know. There's just something like a team is kind of taking after their manager in like the perfect sense with Tottenham. Seems like. Hoff, what are your feelings about the game?
That's a good lead in because it felt like a classic like Conte away performance. It's like when he was at Chelsea, like that's what you would expect when they would go to the Etihad or wherever. Yeah, we weren't really threatened by Forest. Henderson played pretty well. He had a good save on the penalty. It wasn't the best penalty I've seen Kane take, but it was still a good save. He celebrated it like he won the World Cup, which was something. But yeah, I thought it was a solid performance away from home. That's Tottenham's the last team to win at Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. So before they got relegated, they were the last team to beat them in the Premier League, and then they beat him again. Son, I would be shocked if he starts on Wednesday. It'll be under the guise of rotation because I mean we're pretty much playing 2 matches the rest of the way until the World Cup break. 2 matches a week. And Richarlison's been playing pretty well off the bench, so it's justified, I think. Give Son a break, let Richarlison start from the beginning. But I would, if it continues, maybe 2 or 3 more matches, I'll be concerned. I'm not yet, but I'm getting there with him.
Gotcha. Highly, did you catch any of that game or any of the highlights of that one?
Yeah, I actually watched the entire game.
Oh, nice.
I was really kind of weirded out by the way Tottenham play, especially in the Premier League, right? Like, because I think you said it perfectly. It's really a team that's, you know, reflective of Italian football, right? They hang back, they all drop back, which I really question how much that's going to be an issue for guys like Son, for guys like Kane, Richarlison, moving forward or halfway through the season. I mean, that's exhausting. Everybody drops back, you defend, and then you counter, right? It's pleasing to watch if you're really into tactics and these kinds of things. And I like Tottenham. I like watching Tottenham. I think they are going to finish top 4 this year. But I just wonder about the longevity and how much, their endurance is going to hold up as they progress throughout the season and play in a variety of different tournaments. So that's my one concern. I thought it was an incredibly entertaining game, especially the second half. Once Henderson made that save, then it was just back and forth, and then like there's a part of you that kind of starts rooting for the underdog, but Tottenham is superior in every sense of the word. So
definitely, very nice. Milo, anything to add about your beloved Spurs?
Yeah, actually, I think Forest, the difference between a newly promoted side or and an established Premier League side is really evident in the final third. So I watched the extended highlights of that game. Obviously, I wasn't going to get up at 4:30 in the morning to watch that, even though I do quite like Forest. But they had 17 shots, but only 1 on target. That's the key stat. They had plenty of possession. They had pass accuracy was higher than Tottenham. They actually made more successful passes than Tottenham in the game. It's just the finishing and that final third play let them down. Tottenham had 7 shots on goal that were on target, and obviously 2 of them go in, and you win the game. So that's the difference. I think it really shows the difference between an established Premier League team and a newbie. So I wonder if against a better team, that style that Tottenham are playing the most right now, I don't know if that will hold up against some of the better teams, but we will see.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, last thing to add about Kane. Kane usually has doesn't he usually have a bit of a slow start to Premier League seasons? Like he usually doesn't score till in August, right? He doesn't score in August.
He's been historically bad in August. I think
August,
not last year because he didn't play in August because he was still trying to get out. But I think it was 2 years ago was the first goal that he scored in August. I think, or 2 or 3 years ago, was the first time he scored in August in his career. But he has what 3, 4 now, I think.
Yeah, so it's good to see him on the score sheet as well. I mean, if you're a Spurs fan.
I think he's the best passer in terms of like a striker. I don't know that there's a better striker out there that could pass or distribute the ball as well as Kane does. I say across the entire planet.
Yeah, he drops deep and picks up the ball nicely, and he knows what to do with it. Next game, quickly, let's talk about Chelsea and Leicester. Conor Gallagher. I was trying to say Conor McGregor. Conor Gallagher. 28th minute red card, two yellows, but Spurs hold on to win 2-1 against Leicester. I think Chelsea are in what 5th or 6th place now. That's a pretty big result, down to 10 men. Milo, what are your thoughts on Chelsea pulling that W? Oh, we lost your audio. Just one moment.
All right, you should be able to hear me now.
Yep, you're good.
All right, sorry. I was trying to put it out so you didn't hear that notification, desktop notification on my other PC. But anyway, so I watched this game, and I got to admit, I thought that I was kind of hoping that Chelsea were going to take the L, right? Because it's another team around you that you're hoping will drop some points. The red card, 2 challenges that basically highlight age, I guess, of Gallagher, but it's just one of those things, a learning experience. Many players have been there. Once he got sent off, I was thinking, okay, we could be in for something here, but then Raheem Sterling actually, that's why they paid for him. Whether you're a fan or not, he got the job done in a team with 10 men, and he got the job done. So kind of a good performance for Raheem. 2-1. Leicester really don't look good for me.
No, they don't. They really don't.
They just look like a shadow of what they were, you know?
Yeah.
They don't have maybe the name and the money and the pull to do anything with that. And Brendan Rodgers I don't think many players are excited to go play for Brendan.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys. Any comments on Chelsea's victory? Otherwise, yeah, I mean, we got some other games to talk about as well. City versus Crystal Palace. As our City friends of the channel have told us, Crystal Palace has been kind of a bogey card for them. 2-0 down, and then Erling Haaland comeback. I mean, I don't know. I think this City team they're looking pretty unstoppable. Highly, I don't know if you saw much of the game or have any thoughts about the comeback for Man City this weekend.
Yeah, I watched that game as well. Actually, this weekend I spent probably the entire weekend watching football, cleaning up, and I went to the gym and I decided to stay home. That was it. Yeah, Manchester City are just a force to be reckoned with. And, you can't talk enough about Erling Haaland and how seamlessly he's integrated himself into that team. Like, I don't know if you guys would recall, but when we were doing earlier episodes, like during, let's say halfway through the summer, I said, Erling Haaland is going to be really, really good for Manchester City. But I'm under the impression that given the fact that, the Bundesliga is it's less of a challenging league, that I thought it would take him some time to adapt and that maybe he had to learn how to hold up play a little bit and distribute the ball. I take that all back. I mean, he's right in there, way faster than I could have anticipated. And what a revelation he's been. I mean, it really demonstrates what happens when you add that final missing piece. Manchester City are an absolutely delightful team to watch.
Absolutely.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah. Hoff, any comments on the City game there?
I think I don't want to take words out of Pep's mouth, but after the game he said something to the effect of it was a soft performance. I'm sure he wasn't happy about going 2 goals down so early. But I mean they met expectations. I mean, they should be beating Palace at home. So yeah, I get where he's coming from. They shouldn't have been behind, but they did what they needed to do to get full points.
Gotcha. Yeah, Milo, did we watch that one? No, I can't remember.
No, I was watching the Chelsea game at that point.
That's right.
I was excited that Palace were winning, but when you look at the highlights and the stats go with they 2 shots, 2 goals. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah.
And City, if you're going to play like that against City, you're just asking to get scored on. I mean, sure, Haaland hat-trick. I'm sure it's the first of many. I do think he's integrated in the team well, as Highly said, but I think, he's the rest of that team is bloody good. So
yeah.
I'm more interested to see how they fare in the bigger games. Manchester Derby, the Liverpool ties. I want to see how we do against them this year. I'm looking for us to have closed the gap to them a bit, because typically that tie is usually quite good. It's not very defensive, So
Right.
I'm interested to see how they do against the quote unquote top 6.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, Haaland is only going to get more and more comfortable with this squad. It's going to be.
You've got to find a way to mark him out the game, and Palace failed miserably though.
I think Rodri made some comments after the game about how Haaland needs to do better at creating space for himself and things like that, which tells you it's just the beginning of this Haaland relationship with this Manchester City team. Also, I learned that Haaland's father obviously played for Man City. Alf, that's his name? Alf Inge
Haaland, yeah.
And his mother was actually a heptathlete. She competed for the Norwegian. She was in the heptathlon. I think heptath 5. I think that's 5. Yeah. maybe 7. No. Yeah, 5. But yeah, City, big comeback for them. Big 3 points. I was kind of I was surprised when I saw them go 2-0 down. But moving on to our next game, let's talk a bit Manchester United, as always. Manchester United 1-0 win away at Southampton.
You're saving the best for last, aren't you?
I'm gonna save the best for last. I'll save the best for last.
I'm just making sure we're not missing out on it.
We're not. I mean, this game was nice. The United game was nice, but it wasn't as good as the other game. We can't finish with that one. This one. But yeah, Lisandro Martinez with 2 back-to-back man of the match performances. United getting 3 points. To be honest, it was quite an average game. Quite average. But it's 3 points. I'm hesitant to get my hopes up about United, but it's nice to see us get 3 points. I'd like to see better performance, but it's nice to get 3 points. Highly, do you have any thoughts about the game?
You have this succinct way of just summarizing exactly what I want to say when you said I'm reluctant to get my hopes up. Same here.
Yeah.
That Liverpool game, I mean, I know you guys discussed it last week, but that Liverpool game, I think, was a hell of a momentum boost for the team. And when you take 3 points, like they did this past weekend, 1-0, it's not a dominant performance. Like you said, it was an average game, and they did, the opponent did scuff a few chances. They missed quite a few. They missed the target, and there were some decent saves by De Gea as well, but not a statement game by any stretch. And I think, let's see how they do in their next game. I think everybody, all Manchester United fans, unless they're like diehards and they're, wearing rose-colored glasses, like, you have to take it game by game to really understand what this squad is, because you can see that Ten Hag is still experimenting with his lineup and trying to see who's going to give him the best efforts and who's really going to apply a lot of pressure, especially in the attacking third. So that's pretty much where I stand with regards to that. But we'll take the 3 points and makes up for that loss against was it Brighton?
Brighton and Brentford. Yeah, definitely. I agree. We'll talk a bit transfers in a minute, but we just gotta game by game. It's almost like we're some sort of like we're an AA or something, like just one day at a time, one day at a time. Do not, hope copium, copiumolics or something anonymous. But yeah, let's talk Arsenal. I know Milo's waiting to talk some Arsenal. Arsenal with an amazing comeback victory. The energy around Arsenal is palpable. I'm not, there's something developing. There's a wave building, which is fun. It's nice to see a team like Arsenal, who's struggled for so long, relatively long, not decades or anything, but it's nice to see him with the squad and playing well, and just the energy around the stadium. You can feel it through the TV. It's really nice. Milo, what are your thoughts and feelings about that game against Fulham?
So, I was just looking for 3 points. That was literally, I didn't care how they came. Right, there are going to be tough games in the Premier League, and I think a London derby against Fulham. Whatever you think of Fulham's squad and whether you think they'll stay up or go down, I just think there are going to be games like that, and it's successful teams find a way to win those games, and it is something we started to do last year, and I think that's why we ended up 5th and we're battling for top 4 again, because we had more resilience, and that, if anything, we've added to that with the signings that we've made. We were missing Zinchenko, Partey as well with an injury apparently. As far as we know, there's no other reason he was missing. But I think those 2 losses in personnel definitely changed the way the team felt for the first half. And I feel like they were struggling to make that tick quite as well as it had been for the first few games. And then, Fulham took the lead. I felt like we had goals in us. And it's something I've talked about the last couple of weeks. We want to know what this squad is made of. Can they come back from from a deficit, and they did. And Gabriel made the mistake defensively to give them the goal, really, and then he came up huge at the end to get the winner. And I love to see that, because we're not, you're not burying a player for making a mistake, because mistakes will happen across the course of a season. So I'm not worried about the table. I've looked at the table purely because people are posting it everywhere and stuff, right? You can't really miss it. However, I don't really look at the table until Christmas, and then I think, like, can we make top 6? Can we make top 4? Can we challenge from here to May? Who knows what the World Cup's going to do? But I mean, overall, really happy for Odegaard. I was just really pleased that we got another win under our belts. Some resilience.
Yeah, it was a good comeback. Guys, any thoughts about the Arsenal, Hoff? Anything?
Not so much Arsenal. I not being biased, I thought Anthony Robinson played pretty well against Saka.
I was gonna bring up as well. Yeah.
As a US fan, that makes me happy, because I mean, hopefully that's going to be the matchup on Black Friday.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I took away from it. Other than the obvious points, that was a promising performance from him.
Yeah, it was. And Tim Ream as well on that side as well. I don't know if Tim Ream's going to make the national team, but yeah. Seeing Robinson play like that gives me hope.
They were difficult to play against down that hard pitch.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
they definitely were. But I feel like we were weakened by having Tierney instead of Zinchenko. Although I like Tierney, don't get me wrong, but I think Zinchenko just gives us something different. Like I didn't comment on the United game, but obviously Martinez, we were linked with him,
right?
And I think we would have utilized him more on the left, whereas you're utilizing him more of a centre back.
Yeah.
And then when that wasn't going to happen, we went and got Zinchenko, and I'm so happy we did, and I hope back in the team when we face you, because I think he really gives us that extra dimension.
Oh yeah, Zinchenko's. You could tell he was missing. Yeah. Highly. Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say that there was a bit of a question mark around Zinchenko, because he wasn't. Obviously, Manchester City didn't feel like he was good enough to hold down that left back position for them. Whereas for Arsenal, he's been, I don't want to use the term revelation again, but he's been really good, really solid for Arsenal. And by the way, Milo, you're really going to like hearing this, but so far through 4 games, Arsenal have been my favorite team to watch in the Premier League so far. I'm really, really loving the cohesion. I'm really loving the way that Arteta's got them playing as a unit. And I'm adoring Gabriel Jesus. Like, the guy is not a big player, but he is muscling everybody. He's got grit. He's got determination. He's got that fire that you love to see in a player. So, I mean, Arsenal fans should be very, very happy with the way the team has started thus far.
Yeah, I'm personally, I'm also enjoying Arsenal as well. It's just a fun team right now. Youthful, energy. The fans have always been over, kind of over the top. So when the team's playing well and the fans are over the top, it's like it's just a fun time. It feels like not all the fans.
Yeah, I talked to I actually messaged with a couple of season ticket holders I used to sit with, and I was talking to them about it on WhatsApp. We have like a group or whatever, and they were saying that the Emirates been better and louder than at any point since we've been there.
Yeah,
for the start of this season, which is really cool, because Highbury used to be rocking a lot, but I know people called it Highbury Library, but that was kind of BS, because I was there plenty of times when it was rocking. So
yeah. Just to wrap up the Premier League section, we have games coming up: Leeds Everton, Arsenal Villa, Southampton Chelsea, West Ham Spurs, Leicester United on Thursday, Liverpool Newcastle, City Forest. And then next weekend, it's a double week. The next weekend we have Everton, Liverpool, and Manchester United, Arsenal on Sunday. We'll be getting your predictions for those 2 games at the end of the show, guys, and chat as well. We'll be noting those down.
Just real quick, if you haven't seen the highlights from the Wolverhampton game, I mean, just the goals. 2 world-class goals. St. Maximin's volley and Neves. There was just 2 great goals. It was a fun game. That's what I watched Sunday.
Yeah.
That was really fun match. And Newcastle's they're fun this year. I like it.
Yeah, they're looking good. They're new kits, right? The kind of the Saudi Arabian kits.
The Saudi kits.
We're gonna take a look at one of the refereeing calls a little later in the decision room. A little later in the decision room. We'll talk about that Wolves game. Let's keep it moving though. Let's move along. We are a worldwide type of show, guys. We cover all areas of the globe. All areas of Europe. We have. Let's talk a little Bundesliga. Hoff, if you just want to kind of go over some of the big highlights from the Bundesliga.
Yep.
Yeah, what happened this week? I know Bayern was held, I think.
Yes, that's actually that's gonna be my last mention.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
This is a new segment, guys. This is a new segment.
So Christopher Nkunku scored 2 goals for Leipzig. They beat Wolfsburg 2-0. Anthony Modeste got 1 for Dortmund, and they beat Hertha 1-0. The biggest, I guess, not in terms of like magnitude, just in terms of size, the biggest result was Union Berlin 6-1 over Schalke. Schalke's struggling. They
Newly
came back
promoted,
up
eh?
this year. Yeah, they went down 2 years ago, came back up last year, and they're struggling so far. And Union's looking really good. Like they might be in the They could be in the Champions League next year. I want to keep my eye on them. Mario Götze scored for Eintracht, and they beat Werder Bremen 4-3. And I would say the goalkeeping performance of the season in Europe so far, Jan Sommer for Gladbach against Bayern Munich had 19 saves. He was absolutely incredible. Like I was trying to find a highlight clip that had all of his saves, but all of the clips were like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Like there's no way you can get all of these saves in that much time. He was just unreal. and for me, he's been one of the top 5 keepers in the world for the last 3 or 4 years.
He's Swiss.
He had
Swiss.
Yeah. And he did the same thing against France in the Euros.
Yeah.
That led to them getting knocked out. He's been really good, and especially in big games. He had a great the big saves that are getting play. He had a great double save on Mane. I think it was Coman played the ball across to the back post, and he just made a double save. And Mane was just like, "How the hell did he do that?" Summer's fantastic. Find the highlights. It was a goalkeeping clinic. Thomas Muller, after the game, I think he was talking to Leroy Sané, who eventually scored for Bayern. He's like, "How the hell did that happen?" You could read his lips. He's like, "How the hell did that happen?"
That's crazy. Yeah, big performance. I heard about that as well. I watched the highlight reel, and that was away at Bayern as well, right? Away.
Yeah, it was at Bayern. Yep.
It's good. It's good. Let's see what the next slide is. All right, La Liga. I'll talk a little La Liga. Couple games this weekend. Barcelona won 4-0 against newly promoted Valladolid. Pretty one-sided. In case anyone doesn't know, the majority stake owner of Valladolid is the Brazilian Ronaldo. He's also the president of the club. He became the owner in 2018. And the only signing this summer has been Sergio Asenjo from Villarreal. And they tend to. It was kind of nice to see, but a newly promoted side trying to play. They still try to play their possession, build up out of the back, but Barcelona was just too much. Lewandowski with 2 goals there. Also, Real Madrid beat Espanyol away from home at Espanyol. Benzema scored his first free kick for Madrid, and his first free kick ever since he was at Lyon in April of 2008. 2008, pretty wild. Wow. But yeah, so he's scored 327 goals for Madrid, and that was his first free kick, which is pretty amazing. He's always been, he's finally getting his time in the spotlight. Not that he wasn't in the spotlight, but as the main man, he just won UEFA Player of the Season as well, so he'll be looking at a Ballon d'Or maybe. Let's see what else. Tchouaméni and Vinicius played really well. Tchouaméni obviously has complete freedom on that Casemiro role that's empty now, yeah, in Espanyol, it's not looking good. They're on a 10-game losing streak now, so we'll see how things pan out for them. Also, another kind of a big game or big story is Sevilla. Sevilla have lost to Almeria. Almeria's Sadiq and Ramazani, they're both scoring, front duo for them, playing really well. Sadiq was linked with Newcastle, but since they signed Isaac, it looks like he'll be staying at Almeria. But Sevilla, I think they've only recorded 1 point, which was a draw, which they got very, very lucky. I think match week 1, they're just 1 point on the table, 15th, only 3 games. But Sevilla is not a team you expect to be down there. A couple other things about the league. Lewandowski and Benzema both have 7 goals in 3 matches, so that seems like that'll be the battle for top scorer between those. That's nice to see, Barca, Madrid. I'm not sure when El Clasico is, but that'll be a fun one if they're near each other. Next week, Sevilla, speaking of, host Barcelona, so that'll be a big challenge for for Sevilla and Barca. And Betis, top of the table, Betis and Madrid both play each other next week as well. They're both undefeated, so one or both of the 100% records will fall then as well. But still early doors in the season, so a lot of football to play. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any comments about Barca or Madrid. I know they're pretty popular. Vinicius has been playing out of this world. If not, we can keep moving right along to some Serie A. Milo, anything special going on? Or Highly, did you have something you wanted to add to?
Yeah, just with regards to Barcelona, it's nice to see them playing with all of their players in form, right? Like, there were a lot of question marks over Ansu Fati, for instance, because he's suffered 2 major injuries in such a short career, in such a young career. He's been lights out. It's nice to see Pedri and Gavi playing well as well. And it's what I appreciate about La Liga is those guys that I mentioned and Vinny, just watching these young guns, and Camavinga as well, just develop themselves and just gain some experience. It's nice to see because those are all world-class players.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Rafinha has been playing. He's been playing amazing. He had a great cross for one of Lewandowski's goals, and yeah, Rafinha is really exciting. He brings back that kind of that Brazilian flair at Barca, which is nice to see too. But Milo, Serie A. Let's any
Serie A. Yeah, it's a good weekend in Serie A actually, and I've been because I've been tasked with Serie A for this segment. Like I'm actually quite enjoying it. Like La Liga, I'm out of touch because I just didn't have time to watch highlights, and now I'm relying on you, Cartwheel, to be my
there we go
La Liga man, and Hoff to be my Bundesliga man. So, Lazio thumping into 3-1. It was a really good game. Lazio, much stronger team. Great goal from Felipe Anderson. Lautaro, who's been playing well to start the season with an equalizer, but then a stunner from Luis Alberto. So 2 subs with the second and third goals for Lazio, including one from Pedro. So Lazio go third after 3 games. So obviously it's very early in the season, but I've got to be honest, Lazio's got a decent squad. And they really could mount a challenge, I think, this season. Just the way they played was really, really strong. And Inter didn't really threaten at all. So that was a good one. Juve and Roma played out a 1-1 draw. Vlahovic with an absolute screamer to make it 1-0 really early in that game. He had a second one ruled out for handball, which was checked by the ref on the monitor, on the VAR monitor, and it was correctly ruled out. And then Roma equalised with the tap in from a Monday wrap-up favourite, Tammy Abraham. Classic poachers goal there. So Juve down in 8, moment Roma in 6. Again, it is early. Yeah, Waleed, it might be the Serie effect. Maybe it is. Maybe they'll fall off. Season goes on. Napoli 0, Fiorentina 0. I watched a lot of this one because I wanted to see Faratalia play. I believe that's how they pronounce it. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. He's the Georgian wonder kid. I just got him on eFootball. I'm very excited about this kid. He didn't really do much in the game, to be honest. It was Fiorentina actually were decent, and I was expecting Napoli to win by a decent margin. Osherman had a disallowed goal. It was called offside correctly. It was a fairly even contest, but both teams lacked finishing, so that was a struggle there. And then the last game I looked at was Milan beating Bologna 2-0. Pretty standard result for Milan, really. Just nothing hard in that. And Rafael Leao scored one and set up a lovely second for Oli Giroud.
Giroud, yeah,
yeah, Giroud with the second. And Bologna had some good spells, but again, their finishing wasn't there. And I watched that game actually start to finish. I think me and Cash were still in the Discord watching that one. And you just never felt like the result was in doubt. And Milan are second on goal difference to Napoli. So, early days in Serie A, but I'm enjoying watching a lot of it right now.
The table's pretty tight as well, right? There's like 6 or 7 teams on 7 points. It's going to be interesting. I noted down Lazio Napoli coming up this weekend, and also Inter Milan versus AC Milan this weekend as well. So that'll be those will be some nice games. Lot of good games this weekend. But yeah,
if you ignore the midweek game, there's a midweek game as well.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Same as the Premier League. Yeah.
Okay. It was La Liga didn't have midweek. That's right. Okay.
I'm assuming some leagues it's part of their plan to get fixtures done before the World Cup.
I guess so. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be
Milan
interesting.
Milan derby on Saturday.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
So
I'm probably gonna try to watch that one.
I will, if there's not a Premier League game on at that time, I will definitely put it on.
Sounds good. Any other? I know PSG got held against Monaco. Or no, did they lose or they drew? Right? They drew 1-1. No.
They drew.
Damn, they drew. Yeah. Kevin Volland, a fan favorite of the chat, getting on the score sheet.
Mostly Soccer.
Mostly Soccer. Yeah. But yeah, it was nice to see that going. It was good. Yeah, Neymar penalty. That's right, Neymar penalty. He took it. Interestingly enough, he took it. But yeah, let's keep it moving along, guys. Let's talk some transfers and transfer rumors. The transfer window closes this week. I'll just read off a couple transfers that have taken place. So just recently, Renan Lodi has moved to Nottingham Forest on loan with an option to buy. Lucas Paqueta from Lyon to West Ham. Today, just recently, we have Anthony going to Manchester United for 95 mil plus 5 mil for add-ons, apparently. Quite the price. Hannibal, also from United, going to Birmingham on loan with a great. I don't know if you guys saw the announcement video, but it's Clarice from Silence of the Lambs walking in, when she first goes into the prison, and then it's Hannibal on the other side of the fence saying, "Good evening." Ross Barkley's a free agent. Interesting move there. I wonder if he'll be picked up by someone. Cavani's gone to Valencia, also free agent. Milothe1st has gone to Roma. Ander Herrera has gone to Atletico Bilbao. This is all in the last couple days. Neil Maupay has gone to Everton from Brighton. Isak, big one, has gone to Newcastle. Nicolas Pepe, Arsenal boy, has gone to Nice on loan. Dele Alli to Besiktas. Eric Bailly from United to Marseille on loan. Samuel Umtiti to Lecce on loan. And Emerson, I didn't even realize this happened. It kind of flew under the radar. Emerson from Chelsea has gone to West Ham on a permanent transfer. I've listed a bunch here. If you want to just talk about one or two transfers or possible potential transfers, we can do that as well. I'll just read some rumors I got here as well. Konrad Laimer to Liverpool. Liverpool linked with a rumored to be getting a midfielder. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to Chelsea or possibly United. Carrasco, Yannick Carrasco from Atletico to Spurs. Also, I read this one, Daniel James from Leeds to Spurs on loan. Timo Bakayoko to Newcastle. Conor Gallagher to Palace, Paredes to Juve, and if Juve can't get Paredes from PSG, they're looking at Aston Villa's Douglas Luiz. We talked about Leicester a little bit earlier. Harit from Schalke, I believe he plays for Schalke. To Leicester is being rumored, and Kurzawa, the French left back, to Fulham. Okay, that's all I got. I just wrote a bunch down. It didn't seem like too many when I wrote them down, but that's quite a bit. Let's just start with Highly. Do you have one of these transfers that just jumps off the paper, or one of these rumors, or anything you've heard that you're liking, or you want to see a team do this or that? Any thoughts about the transfer market in the last couple of days that we have left?
Yeah, I can't wait to see how Renan Lodi is going to play for Nottingham Forest. I think that's a really, really good addition to their back line. I do want to speak about Anthony. It's nice to see a player who is very, very transparent in wanting to come play for Manchester United. I don't remember the last time we've had, a player just so publicly and so transparently, claim he wants to come play for Manchester United. So I expect a lot of energy from him. I also expect him to deliver the goods, because at 100 million,
it's a lot of money.
That's rough. And that's a tough pill to swallow for sure. But yeah, I think Anthony, I want to see what he does, and I want to see what's going to happen to Sancho, in that case, because Sancho has a tendency to play off the right. And when Martial gets healthy, what's going to happen then? It's nice to have these kinds of options, but it's pretty clear that if you pay that much for somebody like Anthony, you have to figure that he's going to start game in and game out, and you might have one or two unhappy campers up front.
Yeah, it's possible. Very, very possible. Yeah, comment on Anthony. It's a question. It's also a question of depth, right? So we do need a little bit of depth. I think if you look at it, Ilanga, to me personally, Ilanga is nice, but I don't think he's got that. He's not going to win you a. Not to say we're competing for a title, but he's not going to win you a title type of player, in my opinion. But we really do need depth. I think with certain, legal problems, certain players in our squad who had some legal problems, we have to replace him. And I mean, I don't think that player was £100 million player, but he was pretty decent, So that's the way I'm kind of rationalizing this spending, is that we're kind of replacing that 11 that we had kind of planned on having. But it didn't really work out. But it is a lot of money. Yeah, but that he who shan't be named had the potential to be, clearly. I mean, I'm just going off of your vibe. No.
He was going to be. I mean, he was the most natural striker that we actually had besides Ronaldo. Could score with both his left and his right. Even if he just kept his eyes down and fired it, he got lucky and he would score.
Yeah.
But it is a damn shame. And there's a lot of campaigns on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have noticed the people who are, people put like for Anthony or retweet for blank.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And people are getting behind him. Yeah.
Oh,
it's weird. I'm actually kind of shocked, to be honest. So good point, though.
That'll be interesting. Hoff, any players, maybe Spurs related or just otherwise, that kind of pop up when we talk about some last minute transfers?
I really like the Paqueta to West Ham move. It was a lot of money. I mean, he's their record signing. But I've been watching him the past couple years at Lyon, and he's with him and Bruno and Aouar. That was just a nice midfield three. So I'm interested to see how well he adapts to the English game. I know he was at AC Milan before he went to Lyon, and he wasn't. I feel like he never really settled there.
Yeah.
But I feel like at Lyon he was comfortable. He became established in the Brazilian national team, and he's one of their main players now. And I mean, everything, I should say, we should view every transfer that's happening like today, tomorrow, or until the deadline, with a view that like, how is this guy going to get more playing time so he gets into the World Cup? Because that's what
great point.
that's why they're moving, to get more eyes on them, get maybe harder competition to get on the plane to Qatar. Yeah, that's probably the one I'm most interested in. I would like for the Carrasco thing to be true, but I just have a feeling that Atletico want more than we would be willing to pay.
Right.
But he's a good player. If they would do a loan, I have no idea if they would, but I'd be down for it. And actually, I think it was finalized today or yesterday. We're sending Reguilon to Atletico on
that's
loan
right.
to replace Red and Lodi. So maybe that gives us a little bit of goodwill with them.
Yeah, just before we move on, I read a stat about Atletico. In the last 10 years, they've spent like somewhere near about $1 billion or £1 billion or euro on transfers, and but their net spend has been on average of 5 million per year, which is crazy. It's just pretty insane for a team that's won, I think, 2 La Ligas in that time period and got to a Champions League final. It's pretty amazing. Milo,
yeah,
Milo, any
transfer thoughts? Isak to Newcastle, first of their kind of higher profile signings. I mean,
good point. Yeah.
I feel like a year ago he might have been a little bit even more higher profile, but the hype has kind of died down because he had a somewhat average season, I believe, last year.
Yeah.
He's highly rated still, I think it's fair to say, and I'm looking forward to see how he does in the Prem. And I just wrote down, like, you know, Newcastle looking for their new Les Ferdinand. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, the Lodi signing to Forest, I think that's a great loan signing. It's loan, right? Yeah, it's a great loan
option
signing.
to buy, loan.
Yeah, it's going to help them steady the ship a bit, which they need in the Prem, right?
Right.
He's 24 years old, again, fairly highly rated. I think that's good for them. I also had mentioned Paqueta to West Ham is a good signing for them. I know Arsenal were linked with him, but I don't think Arsenal need him, and I think West Ham could literally start him every game. So I feel like that's a good move for him. And I did note down about Nicolas Pepe. So
yeah,
Pepe leaving is obviously, I'm celebrating that, and I see people say what a waste of money and yada yada yada. And now it makes me think, okay, your Antony transfer is the same risk factor that Nicolas Pepe was for us. Pepe was thought of as a exciting winger. He cost 75 million three years ago-ish, or whatever it was. You're looking at 95 million now, so with inflation, it's about the same price tag for about the same hype. It could easily fail. I'm just going to throw it out there. It could fail. So just be careful what you wish for. That's all I'm going to say.
Good comparison.
Fair enough.
I mean, the league, right? I mean, the Dutch league is more technical, maybe. So you'd think perhaps that will factor in.
I think a big part of it is Ten Hag, right?
Yeah.
I think Highly, you mentioned a player's so pumped to come to United. A huge part of that is Ten Hag, right? So the familiarity and things like that will be there. And I'm fine with it, man. When Mourinho came to Chelsea, he brought in, Carvalho, Ferreira. I don't know who else. I don't know. He brought a lot of familiar faces with him. Deco, yeah. So Deco was he came via Barca, right? He went to Barca for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm okay with it. I think it's United have spent like over 200 million now, five, 6 signings.
What I find interesting is NL's BMF said never compare Antony to Pepe. So a quick Wikipedia search.
Oh my God, NL.
That will quickly just show you.
NL's our, he's our
resident
United
Arsenal
extreme.
hater.
Well, resident United extremist. That's who he is.
So I'm just gonna say, for Lille between 2017 and 2019, Pepe scored 35 goals in 74 appearances. Okay, Antony for Ajax, Since 2020, 57 appearances, 18 goals. So the comparison is there, man, whether you want it to be or not. He might explode in the Prem, but what I'm saying is that it's a risk factor that I think's the same. For that money, is where I'm saying that. You know what I mean?
And they both play off the right. They're both right wingers, right? So
And both left-footed.
Both left-footed, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the fact that the manager familiarity just changes everything about the whole situation, though. The comparison's like almost broken there. In my
I
opinion.
want a young Brazilian player that's flair, and I'd love to see that. But at the same time, I would crack up if he's a flop.
Obviously he could be a flop. Obviously. And yeah, I guess maybe it is very possible. I'm pretty. I don't know. There's something about Ten Hag though. I'm pretty confident that he, in his conviction, right? This isn't like, Pepe was signed under who? Who's the manager at the time? It was Emery, or was
Emery,
it?
Yeah. It was Emery, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's just it's a slightly different situation.
No, of course.
Than
I just
price.
thought it was a fun comparison because everybody has been bringing up how it's such a waste of money, and it's a lot of money for a young, unproven winger.
Well, you pay for potential, right? You pay for
Exactly.
you're paying for potential, and that's
And Pepe didn't fulfill his under
Right.
Emery, under Arteta for Arsenal in the Premier League. There's
Right.
4 things there, not just one, right? So
right.
yes, maybe he will fulfill his potential under Ten Hag, but not in the Premier League. Or maybe he'll do all 4. You know what I mean? Like, there's who knows?
I mean,
it's a lot of money to spend on potential.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, okay, yeah, it is. Well, I just think it's a comparison only because of to me the position and the price tag, and that's it. To me, it's he's not coming to United if Ten Hag isn't there. End of story. It's not like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna make my wallpaper one half the screen Pepe's stats and one half Anthony's from here until the end of their career, and I'm gonna have a constant comparison going.
Yeah, look, I don't want to say it, but it could be a flop. You're right. Okay.
No,
it could be a flop.
Who knows?
It could be a flop. And I don't even know what all this spending does to our financial fair play, to be honest. I have no idea how that's gonna work out. But
Arsenal, we don't want to talk about FF3. Can we just
FFP?
Yeah, let's glide.
Let's
past
keep it
that.
moving. let's move on to the
Before
Champions
anyone
League.
thinks about it too hard.
Let's talk some Champions League. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to add to transfers or anything.
Just real quick,
yeah.
while we were having the Anthony Pepe, the great debate, I just put a link in chat to their 2 stat comparisons. They're very similar.
Who's on the right? Who's on the right?
You'll have to guess.
I hope it's. Oh no, it's probably. It's probably Pepe on the right. Just based on pressures.
Pepe is. Let me pull the picture up. Sorry. Pepe is on the left.
Damn.
Anthony's on the right.
I thought the pressures would mean Anthony was on the left, and the defensive stats. But yeah, apparently Anthony's like a left-footed Robin. Anthony's also I was told by a lot of Dutch people that he's the best player in the Eredivisie. Stuff like that. So, but who knows? Who knows? FFP proof Glazers never spend more than they earn. 200 mil they take out each year. Yeah, maybe they'll just stop doing that, Jesse. Maybe they'll just stop doing that, and then we'll be good on FFP. All right, well let's not get too hung up here on flops and whatnot. Let's talk a little. Let's talk the draws just briefly here. Champions League draw, the big one. Let's be honest, the big one. The Group C of death. Group C of death. Bayern München, Barcelona, Internazionale Milano, and Victoria Plitzen. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say who's finishing 4th in that one. But who is going through otherwise? Bayern, Barca, or Inter Milan? Um, to me, this is going to be interesting. Lewandowski going back to Bayern. We don't have to do a full-on predictions right now. If you know, it's not like that.
I was gonna say, should we do one like and prep spreadsheet?
Yeah,
for that maybe.
Yeah, I think we should next week. Let's do that.
That'd be
Okay.
That'll be good. When is the first Champions League match? Is it next week?
Usually September something, right?
Yeah, next
Okay,
week
yeah.
I think. Next midweek.
Wow. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
This is a ton of games for the players, man. This is crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, whoever's not going to the World, like Salah's not going to the World Cup, Haaland's not going to the World Cup. They're gonna have crazy second half of the seasons. Let's see. But what are your general thoughts, Sarah? Let's just talk some the group stage draw. Anything pop out to you guys? But yeah, I think Lewa going back to Bayern is going to be fun, and Inter Milan might have something to say in that group too. It's tough for me to call. I think Bayern's going through. You know what? I'm going to say Bayern finished third. That's what I'm going to say. Let's
Me too.
let's
Little
do it.
Europa League.
Let's plant the seed early.
You've forgotten that they have Mane though, and he's gonna propel them. So I think Inter finished third in that group.
Inter third. Highly, what are you thinking?
I think Bayern third. I think Inter are going to be a bit of a dark horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
They played better than they did against Lazio this weekend. I'll tell you that. 'Cause they were pretty average.
Lukaku and Lautaro up top. You never know what could happen.
Yeah. True.
Other draws, we had Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli, Rangers, which is a pretty nice group.
Fun to see
there.
both Scottish teams back in the Champions League.
Yeah, it is, right? Rangers had a great win over PSV in the qualifying stages. Both legs were awesome. The first leg was a great tie. Really good football. Yeah, it's tough to pick that group. You know, I don't know what Ajax are really going to be doing. I mean, your mind says Liverpool and Napoli to go through, but you never know. Rangers could do something. I don't know.
Ajax as well. I mean, I think that's a fun group though, and all eyes will be on Faradona.
Faradona,
Yeah,
the legend.
yeah, man. That kid, I'm telling you, he's really good.
Yeah, guys. Any other comments on Champions League groups? I mean, other than just reading them all off.
I think Group H with PSG, Juventus, and Benfica, and Maccabi Haifa. I think that'll be a fun group. I wouldn't be shocked to see one of the two that you expect to go through not to go through, but I don't know which one. I seen Benfica finish in the top two, I should say, but I don't know. I'd probably lean a little more towards Paris just because I don't like them in Europe.
Oh wow, you think they could finish third?
It wouldn't surprise me.
I feel like someone. Okay, I'm not gonna go that far, but someone could get hurt if that happens. You know, at PSG, someone.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not. We were about to get canceled, guys. I'm just gonna warn you there. Okay, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Real Madrid v Celtic at Celtic Park will be a hell of a night of football. That much I can like. That place is pumping at the best of times, so I'd love to see. I hopefully get to watch that.
City, Sevilla, Dortmund. That's gonna be a fun group. Highly, I don't know if you have any favorite who's gonna Dortmund, Sevilla. I mean, Sevilla's start has been horrible.
There's gonna be a lot of goals in that group.
Yeah.
Yeah, Man City obviously is gonna finish top. I think,
definitely.
And Dortmund and Sevilla, it's a bit of a toss-up. But Copenhagen, I don't see anything. I don't see them moving forward.
Yeah, and just quickly, let's just talk quick Europa League. Arsenal, PSV, Bodo, and Zurich. Should be some nice. I think Arsenal PSV could be a nice tie. Couple good games. I think Arsenal's gonna top that one. And United. I mean, look. You know, some people call me a victim or whatever. No. Sheriff beat Madrid last season in the group. It's not going to be, and it depends on how fast Ten Hag can get this team playing. But you know, I mean, it's not Ole, you know, it's not Ole or anything anymore. So it's like you get a sense that we'll be able to take care of the group. I don't know. Anyways,
You will win that group.
yeah, you never know. You never know.
You'll win that group.
I think
I'm
we'll win
looking
the group. I think we'll win the group. I do.
We tend to struggle against Spanish teams, though.
Yeah, we
the
do.
interesting thing.
Yeah, but you know, if we say that, we're you know, we're
If you look at the Europa League, though, whether you respect it or don't respect it, I mean, it's a European competition. Yes, it's lesser one. But if you look at those groups and then think about late in the tournament, there's some potential for some mouth-watering games.
oh, for sure, yeah.
Like that.
And Champions
That's
League
kinda
teams
cool.
are going to drop into knockouts as well, right? So
Yeah.
the third
Yeah.
place teams will be around.
Yeah, there's
So
that.
it's gonna get fun.
I want to see more Roma Boda Glimt again because they played. I think they played 3 times last year, and all 3 of the games were awesome. And in the third game, Mourinho or some guys on Mourinho's staff and the Bodo Glimt coaches got into it. It was fun watching those games.
Alrighty, let's keep it moving. I think we're gonna be a little pressed for time tonight, guys. But
Yeah.
just quickly, just talk a little fantasy best performance. I mean, I see some people put Roberto Firmino as a captain in fantasy. I don't know. How did you guys do in your guys' league? A best performer, worst performer?
I did abysmally.
Oh, really? Highly, are you playing any fantasy by any chance?
Surprisingly, no. No.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about fantasy sometimes. Yeah, Firmino top performer this week. He had 22 points. Trent with 17 points. Haaland with 17 points. Sterling 15 points. Luis Diaz, Van Dijk up there as well. Dalot with an assist, 11 points. Pascal Gross 11 points. Odegaard 10 points. Kane 10 points. So a couple surprises. That Liverpool game, I bet a lot of people are kind of bummed Salah didn't get on the score sheet there.
He didn't do diddly shit in that game,
Yeah,
fantasy
dude.
wise.
Yeah.
I actually won my game by about 50 points, but the guy I was playing left Firmino on the bench, and he had 84 points.
Oh, wow.
So I
left him
would
on
have
the
I would have
bench.
lost by 30 if he had played Firmino.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I did okay in
yeah.
FPL. I just didn't do very well in Hoffs. In
Okay.
fact, I got absolutely trounced. It was, but when I looked at the guy's squad, I was like, what? he had a really good draft. So like defensively, maybe not so much, but like Van Dijk, Bruno. This is what the guy had: Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Haaland. So I mean, he got 244 points, and I got 113. He absolutely just trumped. The totals were 265.5 to 142.5, and I won by a massive margin last week. So his team, Hoff, is going to be one to reckon with, I think.
Who is that?
Stoke City, whoever Stoke City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesse says,
a hell
never
of a
been so happy to fall asleep without moving captaincy to Salah. Jeez.
Yeah, I did all right in FPL, thankfully.
Nice. An effort of for the sake of time, I'm gonna skip over the decision room tonight. I'm gonna skip over the decision room tonight, and we're gonna hop straight into how many teams you can name, Milo.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So guys, we can talk some refereeing decisions after the stream and stuff. We can look at some of them, but there weren't too many controversial calls. Just more stuff to learn about. But this week, guys, Milo is gonna host how many teams you can name. So I'm gonna get the participant. Let me get my pen and paper.
He's got a red light on.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I've changed the lighting. Exactly, yeah. It should be blue, I guess, if we're gonna do that.
Yeah, we'll look at some calls a little later, Jesse, for sure. Yeah.
All right, you have a. First off, whilst everyone's prepping for this, you have a
Okay.
choice. Okay.
Okay.
We can either do Serie A based
Okay.
player or MLS based player. It's up to
Oh,
you.
Jesus.
So there's 2 options. Serie
Okay.
A based doesn't mean just Serie A, but
I feel like Hoff is going to destroy us on the MLS player. First of all, I think Hoff is going to destroy me. I don't know about Highly, but in general. But I think Hoff will have the MLS one, like probably way better than us. I mean, unless it's like a big name. If it's a big name, I might.
All right, let's do this Serie A based question.
Okay. I mean,
so there's at least one Serie A club, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So, Shobi, you're in charge of the timer still, right? When you decide it's enough time, because I don't know how you do that.
Yeah. I got the time.
Do you have like an egg timer or something on your desk? I don't know. Okay, today's player. How many teams can you name?
Okay, I'm closing chat. Hold on, chat. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Got chat closed.
There we go.
Drum roll. Christian Vieri.
Oh.
Christian Vieri.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right, this isn't looking good.
Not at all.
This is pretty.
You have 13 options.
Yeah.
13.
All right,
I mean, that does not help.
That, you know what that does? I guess I have. No. I'm just making up stuff now. I think I have 2 for sure.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna guess on some other ones.
Trust me, this is a hard thing to do.
Oh wait, sorry. I didn't mean to wager. But I have a feeling Hoff has got this.
So, I will tell you this, guys. Shobi, sometimes when you read them out, I'm like, oh my god, and it really takes me a while to.
Okay. Let me think. But this guy retired before 2005, right?
He retired in 2009.
Oh. I'm not looking opening chat. Okay, here we go. Let's think.
I'll let you include his internationals as well if you.
Ooh. I mean, I'm assuming. Oh well, I'm assuming. I know. Well, I don't know. Okay, let's just start. Highly, you got a wager?
No.
No.
I really like this. I don't even know who that player is.
Okay, that is tough.
I'm gonna wager 1 and see what Hoff says.
I'll just go 2.
Oh, you dick. I'll go 3. I'll go 3.
I'll go 4.
All right, it's all you then. It's all you. I should have gone 4. Damn. How many do you have written down?
Oh, I'm not gonna tell you that.
Well, no, it's all you. It's all you. It's all you.
I have 1, 2. I have 7 written down.
I just wanted to see what I could have pushed you to. You know, I was just gonna see. But yeah, there's no way I would have got that.
I'm confident in 5.
Okay. Nice.
But I,
all right, go ahead.
only need to name 4. Anyways, Inter.
Yeah, you need 4.
Because that was his world record. The record sign-in.
Inter is correct.
Juventus.
Correct.
AC Milan.
Correct.
Oh wow.
Lazio.
Correct.
That's the 4.
That's the win. Keep going. You said you got possible 7.
And I had feel like he was at Atalanta a bunch, but like different times.
Yep. Correct.
And then Atletico. Atletico.
Atletico Madrid. Yeah.
And I had Venezia was my last one.
And Venetia.
That's a dub. That's a W for Hoff.
Venetia, yeah. He also
did he play Chelsea?
He did not play for Chelsea. So he played for. I'm not going to include his youth career. I mean, he's a really good player, by the way. I strongly urge you to have a look on YouTube at Christian Vieri because he was a really good striker. Torino, Pisa, Ravenna, Venetia, Atalanta, Juventus, Atletico, Lazio, Inter, AC, Monaco, Sampdoria, Atalanta, Fiorentina, and back to Atalanta.
Oh, never in England. Okay, for some reason I thought he played in England.
Never in England, yeah. So I was a little worried about it being a kind of post 2006 player card for you, but at the same time I was like, pretty big players.
Yeah,
he was
he's a
the most
well-known
expensive player in the world
Yeah,
at one point.
yeah.
he's a
he was
well-known
a
player.
bastard to play against. Not that I played against him, but you know what I'm saying. By all accounts.
Oh man, there's a United City feud going on in the chat right now. I just looked up.
Oh God.
Alrighty.
I think
Oh,
I'm
nice one,
gonna keep
Christian
that
Vietti.
Closed.
He wore 24, right? 24, 25 or something. Who played for Chelsea then? Who am I thinking of? Like Italian.
Vialli.
Ola?
Gianluca Vialli.
Vialli.
Oh,
Maybe that's
yeah.
who I'm thinking of.
Gianluca Vialli.
Didn't he
I
change
got
his
his
number
name
to like 32 because they paid 32 million for him or something like that? His number indicated how much Inter paid for him, I think. I thought
really?
I thought
Something
it
like
was
that.
something like that.
That's pretty funny. All right, let's move on to the weekly check-in. Or should we do the MLS one too? Or what do you think? No, we don't have time.
I'm curious who it is.
Or should we?
Highly, what's your MLS knowledge like? Pretty good, right?
if it's an older player, I think it's going to be tougher. But
It's not an older player.
all right,
You want to do it?
let's just do it. Let's just do it. I mean, Hoff.
Fine. Why not?
Yeah, let's just
All right.
do it.
I mean, I got to be honest, this is tough, but you guys should be okay.
All right, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Right. Freddie Adu.
Oh.
Oh Lord. Oh gosh, this is great.
This is Hoff's dream right here. Actually,
I think I told you in the chat that Adebayor is my dream because he's been
Yeah.
everywhere.
yeah.
Hoff knows this one, huh?
I don't
How
know.
many? How many? What are the options?
Oh yeah, how many do we have?
You have
Just so I know what I'm working with.
15.
15. Good Lord. I guess when you start that young, you probably play for a lot of teams.
Jesus.
Oh, and yeah, Shaki Baroon is right. They Chelsea also had Hernan Crespo, so you might have been thinking of him.
Okay, yeah, they had Crespo as well.
Yeah,
No, I was thinking of some midfielder, like, or no. Yeah, I think I was thinking of Vialli.
Can't miss him. Borders,
What's up, Limmer? How you
borders
doing?
anything.
Jumi ads. What's up, guys? Iran. What's up? I'm looking at chat now, saying hello because there's no way I'm getting this one over Hoff here.
That's
I saw
fine.
Hoff's eyes light up
Gotcha.
when he heard Freddie Adu.
I can attest Hoff is very difficult to beat at this game.
He's tough.
Right,
It's tough to
I
beat
think
him.
I've beaten him once in God knows how many tries, so it's difficult.
The next
He's
Pele.
an encyclopedia.
As
All
soon
right,
as you said the name, I just put my pen down. To be honest.
I have. I'll just say it. I have 3.
Great.
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right, Hoff. 3. Bring it.
Right, how many does Hoff have?
How many out of 15 does he have?
I only have 5.
Oh, okay, respectable.
Okay.
From me, by the way. Because you're the barometer. You're the one I'm measuring it to.
He bounced around so much, and he was on like little loans, and it's just so hard to keep track of him because he would go on loan somewhere and he'd play like 2 games.
All right, to be
And he
fair,
would-
I have 2 clubs.
Okay.
The other
Is
one's
one of them the USA?
No,
you got
the third is the USA.
Okay. Okay.
But that's what I got. I got 3, including USA.
All right, go for it, Hoff.
Go for it, Hoff. Yeah.
Let's see it, Hoff.
DC United,
Correct.
Yeah.
Real Salt Lake.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
He went to Benfica,
Correct.
Yep.
Philadelphia when
Union,
he
yeah.
came back.
more.
And he played Las Vegas, USL.
That's correct. Las Vegas. Lions.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, who did you have, Cart?
I had DC United,
Real.
Benfica, and then I think there was. Did he play for like Olympiacos or something? Or like
He played
something
for Monaco online.
Oh, Never mind then. I didn't have Olympiacos written. USA. Bang.
USA, yeah.
USA,
He played for
yes.
Belenenses.
In
He
Portugal.
played for
Portugal, yeah.
Arlis. He played for I'm going to butcher this. Kaikur Rizespor.
Oh, it's Turkish
11
team, I
appearances.
think. Yeah.
Turkey.
3 goals.
Okay.
He played for Bahia.
Bahia,
Brazil?
that's also Brazil. Yeah, that might be Brazil. Yeah.
Jagodina.
Jagodina. I don't know.
I
No
think
appeal.
that's in Poland, I think.
When did he play for that Atlanta nightclub? You know, he was in a nightclub.
I've got 2014. He played for Jagodina, but he had 0 appearances and 0 goals.
Oh, okay. I,
So
have no idea.
I guess they paid him. He didn't
guess.
necessarily play there.
That's
I don't know where QPS, QPS, and then
What the hell?
Kufu 98 on loan. He's
Apparently
been
in
all over,
Japan,
man.
he played in Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Japan. Tampa Bay Rowdies,
Oh.
The
Las Vegas
Rowdies.
Lights, and Osterlin FF in 2021.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, like, wasn't he on United's books at one point, or they were gonna get him or something?
Maybe
and
he
was-
gave a trial or something. I think he had a
Yeah,
trial
he had
or something.
I
Yeah.
remember in England we were hearing about this Freddie Adu kid, and he was going to be the next, like,
He had a big under 20 World Cup. That's where he got his
Yeah.
break,
gotcha.
and he was just amazing in there. And then I think that's when he signed for Benfica. I think,
Right.
right? And then
Yeah, he
that's
got his
the
European
last club I know about him.
Yes.
Then he
Right,
just kind of poofed.
Next time I host one and Highly see, I'm going to do Canadian soccer players just for him.
Hoff is still gonna beat me, so it doesn't matter. But I appreciate the sentiment, though.
Remember that show Stump the Schwab? It's like
Oh,
something
yeah.
something about we got to think of a name of
That was a fun show.
Hoff something.
Yeah.
Beat the.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah. I know
that
what you're
sounds
saying.
wrong.
Like,
That sounds right.
I've been there, like, played against Hoff many times. Sometimes I might have like 6 answers, and he's like, "I've got 7," and I'm
Yeah,
just like,
it's crazy.
"Fuck," you know, like. And there have been weeks where I've had 2. You know what
I
I mean?
know.
Like
No, I know.
it's really hard to think on the spot as well. Like, where did
It
these
is.
players go?
Let me ask
That's
you something,
it, that's
Milo.
it,
Have you ever
that's-
had 0 twice in a row?
I mean, maybe not, but I don't. I thought Serie A. I actually, when I found out you were on the show, Highly, I'm like, okay, perfect, because he loves Serie A.
Like, yeah.
You could
we got to
just,
put like a post 2010 or something.
you
next
could have
time.
just you could have just guessed 6 Serie A teams, and you probably would have got 5 answers.
Yeah, he played all over the
True.
Like, he
league.
played for most of the league.
True, he did.
I couldn't have possibly known that, to be honest.
But I did say Serie A based player.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not a sore loser. I just,
I've seen
I
you
know where
play
my strengths
e-football.
are, and this is not one of them.
I've seen you play football. Now, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here, let's keep moving. Just real quick, chat. Type your predictions for Everton, Liverpool, and Arsenal, Manchester United. I will note them down later. As long as you just write Everton 2-1 and Arsenal or United 8-0 or something. Just whatever you feel like writing. Just throw it in chat because we're a little pressed on time. Thank you, Extreme. Well, yeah, and the other one, and both games. Wait, yeah, both games. Both games on one line if possible. Whatever. It's all good. Guys, tell me about your week. Any highlight of the week? Anything fantastic happen? I can speak personally. Today I hit 20 pounds. I'm down 20 pounds since I began my weight loss this morning.
Nice.
Pretty happy about that. After the
Nice.
morning
Congrats, man.
Nice one.
the morning bathroom, that's when you got to weigh yourself when you're at your
Yep.
lightest, and boom, we hit it. It's a nice feeling.
How long did it take?
July 19th was my first time I weighed in.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a little
You
over
were
a month.
dedicated, man.
Yeah,
Good for
just
you.
diet. It's basically all diet. Walking every now and then, but all diet. It's just like I'm eating like 700 less calories than I should be.
Wow.
But yeah, so it's just
Right.
pure diet. But yeah, it's been fun. But that's me. What do you guys? Any highlight? How are the kids doing, Milo?
They're
And
great,
Hoff?
man. They're great. My mum was here for the last 2 weeks. She just went home last night, so that's why I missed my ECC race last night because I had an airport run to do. But
Gotcha.
it was nice having Mum here, and she just hung out with my 3 daughters. So she spent like my eldest daughter, who turned 12 while she was here. So they hung out for the 2 weeks solid. It's been really nice. I mean, I just carry on doing my thing, going to work and doing this. So
Nice.
yeah, no, it's been a really good week, man. And yeah, I'm playing F1 Manager. I don't, there's some VODs on my channel if you want to take a look if you're unsure about the game, and it's really fun. It's definitely got some things they need to improve, but I'm having a blast, and I'll be continuing my McLaren playthrough.
Does it have is it gonna eventually have like a multiplayer type thing involved?
I don't know about that. We were talking about that last night on the stream.
Oh, okay.
Not really sure. I mean, there's no plans to. I tweeted out asking if there's any roadmap for like fixing things, and because there's some stuff that's like, I don't want to get too into it because we're on a time limit. I could go on. There's definitely a few things that need a bit.
Nice.
But it's a lot of fun.
Highly, do you have a highlight of the week? Anything?
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, actually, so since June, I've been. So I had a pretty serious Achilles tendon injury back in October last year, and then I dislocated my shoulder at the beginning of the year. I have been going to the gym consistently for 3 months, and I am starting to get jacked.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel great. I don't know about 20 pounds. That's pretty significant. That's I mean,
that's
hats off
negative
to
on the
you.
muscle probably a little bit, you know.
Yeah, but you can add muscle.
True.
It's harder to lose the fat, I think. So yeah, I actually started training with a personal trainer just to kind of really make sure that everything is going as well as possible. And today I had an appointment with the trainer, and he basically told me that my form for all of my exercises are perfect.
Oh, nice, man.
That was a pretty significant thing for me, considering I'm coming off of injuries and obesity, to be honest. So yeah, that's the highlight for me. Just that I'm on the right track. So
Nice, man.
feels great.
Getting that. Have you ever had a gym routine before? Or
Yes.
oh,
When I
you
was
have.
younger,
Okay, nice,
Yeah.
nice. I feel like that's like one of the. Like I think that's something that's really tough to do. Get a good gym routine going. I think a lot of people want to, but it's really tough to get it going. That's really cool that
You
you're
have to
able
be
to.
patient, especially
Yeah.
in your 30s, man. You know, your metabolism's slower and everything, so you get results like it takes a little more time. You just have to stick through with it.
Might have to. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you, man.
Hoff, anything?
I guess over the weekend I posted some
Oh,
pictures.
yeah.
I remember I need to post the finished product. I smoked about
about 3 pounds of 3
it was 6 racks of ribs and about I think it was about 5 pounds of chicken wings. I hosted a fantasy football draft for my home league with guys that I know.
Oh, nice. Good times.
So yeah, we ate a lot of smoked meats and drank beer and drafted our football team. So yeah, that was
Nice.
the highlight for last week. And I talked about it earlier. I'll keep talking about it until something better happens. Jan Sommer's game. I love great goalkeeper performances. Like, give me that over a hat trick any day. It was just incredible. I love watching that.
Yeah, it was good.
You feel the same way about hockey goalies? Just out of curiosity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I never played hockey goalie, but I played soccer, football
Yeah.
goalie. Yeah. So, but I can appreciate the craft.
Absolutely.
You people are cut from a different cloth, man. Goalkeepers and goalies in their own world most of the time. So no
Hockey
wonder you're
goalies.
like the Rain Man when it comes to how many teams you can name, right? Like, damn.
That's what I think about when our team's holding possession. Like, oh yeah, that guy played here and here.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
well,
hockey goalies get a lot of respect from me, man. Like that, having that piece of rubber shot at you at
Oh yeah.
whatever speed. Like, yeah, Crazy.
All right, well, guys, we're right up to the time limit, guys. In chat, Everton Liverpool prediction, United Arsenal prediction. I will get those after the show. We'll continue streaming. But to take us home, Milo, do you have a dad joke for us?
Of course, man. I'm not gonna let you
All
go.
right, guys, and with this, Milo's gonna sign us off with the dad joke, and I will see you guys later. Hoff, thank you very much for joining the show, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, all the links are down there. Also in chat, it keeps popping up occasionally. And also, Highly, thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully, we'll see you again very soon as a part of our rotation of friends of the channel. And here is Milo with the dad joke of the evening. Go ahead, Milo.
Did you hear about the cheese factory that exploded in France? There was
No.
nothing left but debris.
Very nice.
Hoff loved it.
That's good.
We've gone to the ending screen. We could post show now. Post show.
Oh man.
That was good. Debris.
Yeah.
Debris.
It took a second as well. It was perfect. There was like a pause where everyone was like,
Actually, just in this outro screen, anything you guys want to shout out? Hold on, let's go back real quick. Anything you guys want to shout out? I forgot to do shout outs.
Reverse.
yeah, we all create content.
Yeah, and just check it in the description.
Yeah.
It's all in the description. All right, let's go. We'll go back to the other screen. There we go. All right. Good night, guys. I'll see you guys next week, and hopefully I'll see you guys very soon. All right. Good night.
Good night, all. See you,
All right,
Highly.
thanks for having me, guys. Always a
Yeah.
pleasure, fellas.
Thanks for
Yeah,
joining.
great to have you, Highly. Talk to you soon, bro.
Cheers, guys.
See you, Hoff.
See ya.
It's the Monday weekend wrap up. 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 It's the Monday weekend wrap up.